Well, I picked UT because in the 6th grade, I actually took a tour with my sister of the university and just absolutely fell in love with UT. I realized just the kind of prestige that came along with going to UT. And it was just one of the flagship universities of the state of Texas. And I came here, thinking that it was every man for himself, and that, it just, with all the rivalries in Texas, you just hear all these negative things about all the different universities. And I came here anyways, just because the academics were so good and because I still remember that prestige that I felt earlier in life. And when I came here, I found out none of those things were true. And that's really inspired me to get that word out there, that UT is such a welcoming place and it's good academically. So it really has like the whole package. When I first visited, I thought it was big. I was just like, man, how am I gonna find things? This place is like a city. And as time goes on though, you realize that it's really not that big. UT is spread over approximately 350 acres. It's half a square mile. And then where you spend most of your time in undergrad especially is half of that, is maybe even a third of that. And so you can get from one end of campus to the other for class in under 10 minutes. And another thing is just how pretty it was. I was really surprised by that. I thought being in the middle of a city, and so many schools around the country just pride themselves on looking good. And I thought, well, UT's in a city, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be cramped. It's going to be, there's not very going to be a place for you to find a quiet corner to study. And I came here anyways and just found out that wasn't true either. So that there really is a lot of room, and they really take care of the aesthetics as well as the academics. My most memorable experience is definitely my first day of class at UT. I remember walking up thinking like, I am not smart enough to be here. I don't know how I got in. I don't know how I'm gonna stay. I mean, I was so nervous. And all I had to do was write my name on a piece of paper and I could leave. And the reason why is because my professor wasn't even there. He was in Washington, D.C. telling George Bush what he should do about Russia invading Georgia. Best excuse I've ever heard in my life. So he spent Wednesday telling the President of the United States his recommendations for international policy, and then on Friday he told me the exact same thing. And I was like, after that I just realized it doesn't matter how hard it is to stay here, how hard it was to get in here, I'm gonna work my tail off to stay. And from then I've never looked back. The opportunities here are immense. People come and teach here because they want to. They could do public policy in DC, they could be working for a think tank wherever, but they chose to come here so they could educate others, do research, and learn more about the world in their certain specific field. And so that is easily the defining moment of my coming to UT, that I got that experience as a freshman, and it has only gotten better since then. I've only gotten more professors like that. And for me to be able to tell people that that's what my very first class was like, I haven't met anybody that's been able to boast the same experience. Really, the main piece of advice is to not get intimidated. It feels like it's a big city. It feels like it's a very good school, which it is, but you are smart enough to get in here. You're smart enough to stay. You're smart enough to figure it all out. And people are just so nice and welcoming that you can ask anybody and they'll be able to help you. I remember there was one day I had 4 meetings with different advisors. All of them knew me on a first name basis. And that's something that you really can't get everywhere. And so to be able to have the resources of a 52,000 person university, but still having that like small town, small college feel where they help you and they kind of guide you through the things you need to do, that's something that you really don't need to be intimidated by, but it takes that first jump to get here to realize that. So don't be intimidated. Really just understand that this is still Texas. There's still that Southern hospitality, and really take advantage of that, and don't miss out. Hook 'em.